Hey, welcome back to the Zero Excuses podcast, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Kenyon Ziska, and as we wind down 2017 and gear up for 2018, I thought it would be appropriate for us to take a little break from the usual routine of doing the Deacons of Discipline series and Wheelbook Wednesdays that I do for my solo shows. And I'm going to be bringing you a four-part series here so that we can start to craft a masterpiece of a year and truly make 2018 better than 2017. We all make New Year's resolutions. We've tried it in the past, and if you're anything like me, I've made New Year's resolutions, and really they've fallen flat after the first month or two of the year, and we just revert back to the same old routine that we found ourselves in the previous year. 2017 was a real standout year for me and my family. We made some significant changes to our lives. We moved from upstate New York down to Charleston, South Carolina. I took a new job. And so many positive changes came about in 2017, and I want to share with you guys some of the key tools that I employed over the course of this year to make those positive changes. So the first tool that I want to go over with you guys is vision. Now, I did a episode on this earlier in the year, and my thought process has evolved with regards to how I approach my vision for myself. I've added a few things that I've learned from reading some books. I'm also involved in a couple different masterminds, and I've been coached by numerous people over the course of the year. And I've integrated several things that I learned over the course of those mastermind sessions and coaching sessions and reading these books. So I wanted to revisit it and let you guys know what my latest thoughts are on it and break that down for you. Just a little preview of the episodes to come in this series. My next episode, I'm going to go over distilling this vision down into yearly and quarterly goals, and then the third episode is going to be distilling that down further into weekly and daily planning. And then the fourth episode is going to involve crafting a killer morning and evening routine. And the last thing to note before I jump into the details of crafting a vision is that for each of these four shows, I'm going to be giving you guys completely free the worksheets that I use and the documents that I use to make these things happen. So, for example, today I'm going to give you for free three-page PDF version of the worksheet that I use to craft my vision. So all you got to do is simply click the link in the show notes here and enter your email address, and you'll be able to download these worksheets. So anyways, enough on that. Let's start diving into vision here. Like I mentioned, this process has evolved over the past couple months, but you still want to approach it in the same manner. And what I mean by that is you still need to activate your subconscious mind and tell your conscious mind to kind of take a break, take it easy for a little bit, and start to deal in simply possibilities and not allow these limitations or prerequisites or qualifiers that you put on yourself when you're dealing in reality. You really need to just simply, without limit, put down on paper what you want your life to look like. And you don't need to think about how you're going to do it or what's reasonable, what's not reasonable. Just you need to activate your subconscious brain and start dreaming. I can't put it any simpler than that. But step one is still to craft your ideal day. And if you If you haven't listened to that previous episode, I'll go over it real quick again. But essentially, what you want to do here in this first step is from the time you wake up until you fall asleep, detail out exactly what your ideal day would look like. What would you be doing? What time would you wake up? What would be the first thing that you do if you had no limitations on your life in terms of money or time? So the questions that you might want to ask yourself is, who would you be spending your time with? What would you be doing? What smells would you be taking in? What sort of Where would you live? What kind of car would you drive? What does your health, your wealth, what's your emotional state look like? I mean, you really need to get details so that you can touch it and feel it as much as practically possible inside your own brain. And this needs to come alive inside of you, because this is what's going to be the foundation of what drives you. It's going to be the foundation for your discipline, and this ideal day is what you're going to fall back on when things get tough or when things look bleak. This is something that you can activate and pull out on a moment's notice or on demand to keep yourself grounded. So the next piece of the puzzle here that I've added over the past couple months here is, after living this perfect day for 20, 30 years, what does your life now look like? So this is just yet another layer to add on top of your ideal day to solidify this vision inside of your brain. So this essentially answers the question of, what does your legacy look like? When people say your name, what sort of adjectives are they using to describe you? What sort of impact have you had on the world? And you also may want to put down things like, what does your bank account look like? What are your kids doing? What are the people who you have mentored? What are they doing? So the third and final piece uh, to this puzzle is, now you need to start bringing a little bit of reality back into this picture. And the next part is, what does your ideal day need to look like starting tomorrow to move you towards the ideal day and your life 20 years from now? So this part may answer questions like, what kind of books am I going to need to start reading? Who am I going to need to start to connect with? Who am I going to need to start to disconnect with? What sort of things do I need to eliminate, and what sort of things do I need to start to add to my life? Start to think about what your morning routines might look like. Start thinking about what your evening routines would look like. Start thinking about the things that you would need to do to maybe positively change your relationships, positively change your bank account, positively change your health. What are these things that you need to start doing tomorrow? So, so that's it in a nutshell, guys. Like I said at the beginning of the show, click the link in the show notes to download the worksheets that I use to craft these three different aspects of my vision. And if you're really looking to have some accountability and be surrounded with like-minded folks who are doing these very things, like crafting a vision, coming up with yearly and quarterly goals, planning their weeks, planning their days, I encourage you to check out the Infinite Results Mastermind group. We've recently kicked that off, and we still have some slots available for those of you who are interested in taking advantage of the $29 a month price for the first 20 people who join the mastermind. You don't want to wait around for that, because I know these are going to sell out before we know it. And if you really want that one-on-one accountability and the one-on-one mentoring, and really want to get those results that you've been dreaming about in your life, I also offer a one-on-one discipline coaching program. If you're interested in either the Mastermind or the Discipline Coaching Program, you can check those out at kenyanziska.com/results for the Infinite Results Mastermind and kenyanziska.com/discipline for my one-on-one coaching program. All right, guys. Well, that's it. Again, I appreciate you guys tuning in. And one last reminder: don't forget to click the link in the show notes to download the PDF for the vision worksheets. All right, guys. Happy holidays, and I will talk with you again on Monday.